Good evening and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How is everybody this evening? I hope you're all well. So, of course, tonight is another of Pascal Rosa's Painting Pro workshops. And tonight we shall be doing some work on Atlantis Miniatures Dwarf Queen. Of course, Atlantis Miniature are our sponsor for this month. Got an awesome range of miniatures, so exclamation Atlantis Miniatures will link you through to their website. And we can say good evening to Pascal.
Hi guys. So I'll jump right in, right?
Well, why don't, so Pascal, let's first of all start with a bit of an overview. So what is the mission for tonight?
So I was handed a lovely miniature from Atlantis Miniatures. This Dwarf Queen over here. As you can see, pretty rough right now, but you'll see it later up close. And so yeah, I've primed the model beforehand, and I hope today I'm gonna be painting the face, the skin tones. And hopefully even the hair, and if we're lucky, even finish the hair. But if I am correct in guessing how much time I'm gonna need, that's about it for today. But also I'll be telling, before I start to paint, what I am thinking of. I've got a clear vision of what to do with it, not only paint-wise, but also presentation-wise. I've already started working on a nice display plinth to put her on. Not going to show you that right now. I'm going to keep that a secret actually until the end of the month when she's done. But I can tell you about ambience and about dramatics and all that kind of stuff. First of all, let me show you the model. I've got it in two pieces right now. This is much easier for me to paint. Let me adjust the light just a little bit. There we go, probably. So there we go. The chair and the dwarven girl. So first of all, one thing I'm trying to take into consideration beforehand is well, the backside. She's going to be sitting against the throne, so the backside is going to be way up there. So I already know that I'm not going to need to put a lot of effort and detail into that back piece. The same goes for the throne in there, right? So that's for later on. For now, what I do is I did a black and white primer. As you can see, from the bottom it's black, from the top it's pretty white, and I try to focus my light source right here on her forehead. On just not, this is the zenithal lighting, but I put it a bit more up front, right?
Like Snick's just asking straight away, did you prime the Mini with an airbrush or with spray cans?
Spray cans is so much easier. And a lot of people tell me it's going to be much more even and less speckle with an airbrush. But I've never had any problems with that, actually. Okay, so when I got this model, the first thing I was telling to myself is, what story do I want to tell with this? Because on itself, she's just a model sitting on a throne and not saying a lot. And if I'm looking at her face, she's really grumpy, grouchy, and brooding a bit, you know? So that's telling a story to me. So what I want to do is create an ambience of a really brooding dwarf on this throne, where she's the center of it all, of the entire display, and the focus will be completely on her face and on her hair. So this is going to be a focal point in the entire scene. And outwards, going away from that, there's going to be a lot of darkness and coldness in the scene. So this, as a contrast, I want this to be very bright, very warm, and very fiery, just to show her bruteness, her darkness, and yet she's a benevolent dwarf, maybe. So she's not per se evil, but she's stern and she's, well, you just don't mess with her. So at that point, I'm going to start thinking about color choices and about contrasts I want to put in there. I use an app on my phone. So this is the app Color Wheel. I want to create contrast, and the first contrast I want to create is a trifold of colors. So I'm going to pick the triad version. And in that case, what I want to do is get a fiery kind of color, right? So the first color I'm going to choose is here. And I've done this before already before, so I know what colors I should pick. So I want to do the hair, not just plain red. And this may not come out on the screen like I wanted to, but then again. And so something like this color, these colors over here. This is like a purplish red, rose kind of reds. Very high in saturation, desaturation, I always forget the one. But very vibrant, very live colors, right? That's what's going to be in that face and in that hair kind of style. Then I've got, if I see it correctly, green and blues to fill up the triangle. But these colors are way too vibrant for me. Can you see those? So these are way too vibrant. And when I see this, I immediately think, oh, all right, there's going to be a lot of stone in this scene. So these blues are good for the stones. And the greens probably for her clothes, her dress or whatever. But this is way too bright. So I'm going to desaturate those and put them over there. So these are the tones I'm going to use in the other scene, in the rest of the scene, right? So I've got pretty bright versus pretty desaturated colors. And there's a balance in the three colors, red, green, blue, actually. So this is about it, what I'm going to try to emulate. So much for the intro, right? Let's start some painting. And the one thing I always want to do first is the skin. And for this, I'm going to use just a tried method for me. I'm going to start off with a flesh tone. This is AK light flesh. I'm going to put it on my wet palette here. You're not able to see that, but then again.
Good evening, Atlantis Miniatures. Welcome to the channel. We're just starting off, Pascal's been explaining his colour wheel and which colours he's choosing for this project of the Dwarf Queen.
So I'm going to start off with my basic colour for the skin. And even though there's a lot of shading already there, I'm not too worried about it. I got a mental image of it in my head already. Where to put shades and highlights and stuff. I could use it by doing very thin glazes, but I don't want to. So while I'm doing this, how about you guys tell me how you've been since my workshop? And what you've done with it already?
I did see on Facebook and on the Discord server that Paranoid Spectre had done some photos of one of the miniatures he was painting up, where he had definitely been looking at spheres and emulating the tutorial from last time. It looked really great.
This was the purple demon or something?
That's it, yes. Yeah,
that's awesome. So I was saying I really loved how the arm greaves are shaping the flow of the arm just along the fingers and to the armchair, the armrests. There's really nice shapes here. I'm using AK paints in this. I got to test out these paints a while ago. especially for the skin tones. They're awesome because of their perfect mattness. You know, like scale 75, it can be really matte, which could be way too matte for skin tones. This is just perfect.
Yes, Snowyak is commenting on the fact that you should always apply 2 thin coats. As the legend of painting, Mr. Rhodes would say.
He's brilliant.
Definitely. So Atlantis Miniatures are asking, what brushes do you use?
These are, excuse me, Winsor & Newton Series 7. This is a number 1. I always got a number 0 on hand for brush blending or fixing mistakes or whatever, or even for finer details. Right, so this is the base color. Then I'm gonna add some darker reds. Let's see, put this one first. So this is Shadow Flash from AK. Really nice red tone. I'm gonna mix that in with my base color. And now I'm really. The first layer was just like Sarah said, glopping it up. But now I've got to do. Really got to find those spots for the shades, which is difficult. She's tiny. To be able to create that depth of brightness in here that I'm looking for, I should make sure to get those shades really dark. This side piece should be all shadows, which makes this brighter in the end. This is base flash from AK. I'm trying to keep it all in one line. And this is a rosy brown. Let's see what that does. I'm gonna darken it up a bit by using Watercolor's German black brown, this is an awesome color. It's brown, yet it's black. I'm not really sure what this part is going to be here. I just thought it's going to be an ear, but it's not really clear if it's just on this side there is no ear. I thought it was this, but this is a part of the hair. So for now, I'm just going to think it's an ear. And I use the black brown because it's got a bit of black in there, killing a bit of the strongness of the colors, to make it really good and dark. There we go. I'm gonna do just a little bit of the black brown itself, really thin, just to put in the eye sockets. This is going to be in hell because of this strand of hair over here. It's just for creating some contrast and readability. So the thing is, when you're painting female faces in comparison to male faces, you've got to keep the wrinkles and the contrast in the face really low. You know, a female face should be nice and smooth, so the lines between her cheeks and her lips, this one over here next to the nose, it shouldn't be too harsh unless you want to make it look old, right? Whereas with a male model, you can easily do it and still have a really tough guy looking. I'm gonna put on some highlights now, and I'm gonna use scale color white for that because it's a nice matte color. And I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna mix that into my base tone. A bit more. May want to go to my base tone first, just touching up a bit. You see this a lot with the old master paintings, you know, like Rembrandt and Van Gogh and etc. etc. They identify 3 zones in the face. Like there's the above the brow, the forehead. There's going to be a lot of yellows in there. Then you've got the eyes and the nose. There's going to be a lot of reds in there. And then you've got the chin, where there's going to be a lot of blues. This works very, very well with male figures, but it does not with female figures. It's going to make them look too masculine. So with female figures, just use rosy colors and reds and all that kind of stuff to make them look cute and lovely. Maybe a bit biased, but it works.
Oh, so were you doing a little bit of feathering there with a damp brush?
Yeah, it was a bit too stark, and just feathered it out. It's a favorite technique from Private Press. For a lot of painters that work with them. I really love painting skin, you know. I really found it very, very hard for a while, and then I just made a study out of it. And I'm not saying that I've mastered it by far, but I just found that I love painting skins, faces, etc. It's really cool.
Do you typically always start then with the face and with the skin tones?
Yeah. It's the face is going to be the focal point for any miniature actually, and so this is when I'm finished with the face, it's going to give me the character for this piece, and more often than not, after I'm done with the face, then that's the point where I'm going to build up the dramatics and the ambience for this model. I'm going to say, oh wow, this is a story. So I've thought of a story beforehand, but it may just as well change during the process. If we're speaking about how to place shades and lights, it's just all the same theory about the spheres. Although you should be focusing just a little bit different with the face. So in the face, I'm gonna put all the light to the front instead of from above. But other than that, shade and lights wise, it's gonna be the same. Then you got your tones. So one thing I've always trying to do when you're doing a living model, always got to put in some red somewhere in there. Even with a green orc, put in some reds on the cheeks, on the lips, beneath the eyes, etc. Just to make it show that it's alive. Even in the shades, I'm mixing in a dark red into the greens to make it feel alive. If you're not doing that, if you're only using greens from darker green to lighter greens, it's going to be dull. It's going to be almost dead because there's too much blue in there. So add more reds, and then it's going to be okay. And then if I'm aware of that, I can use any color actually. So I could even do this with blue. I can do this with well, you choose. I can do it. Just remember to use those reds in there.
Right.
Then if you want to do something really funky, let's say I'm going to do like an ice creature or something that really doesn't exist, and you can go all the way. You can do whatever you want. but just make sure that there's a contrast of your shade colors with your highlight color. So let's say I'm gonna do orange skin. This is a good example. No, still gonna use reds in there.
Okay, what about blue? So blue skin then?
Gonna use reds in there. It works really well. Yeah. Use the reds and everything. But if you want to go all the way, you can also think of it as use the opposite color in the color wheel in your shades.
Yes.
And this will make your shades much deeper and darker and more alive. So Millennium just asked me today this question. He was wanting to do, I think, something like ghouls or undead. If you're going to do dead flesh, make sure to use blues instead of reds. Doesn't matter if you're going to do this, and then it's going to be dead. I'm going to use blues instead of those reds. I'm going to make the shades with that, and it's going to be a dead character, even though you're going to see rosy skin in there. So I've got I'm using pure white now, but I'm going to do it so thin that it's not going to show up as pure white. Or maybe it is. It's going to be bright, but I can go even further white with this.
So again, this was going on your light and shadow workshop from last time, and when you sort of finally showed the difference between the highlight and the shadow, which were very extreme. And again, this is what you're going with white here now. And it looks so natural. Exactly.
So here's my darkest color. Here's my lightest color. It's near black to white. I'm going to put in some pure black here because I want to frame her at this moment. And by that, I mean I'm going to put some dark lining around her face. As to set her in stone. No pun intended. And this is especially done, for those strands of hair, which I want to pick out and make sure it's being done well. This is awesome. It's at times like these that you're gonna see and enjoy the real extent of the detail. I'm seeing that this strand of hair is really running down towards her face, down her cheek, etc.
So some of the guys on the chat were saying right at the beginning of the show, "Oh, I really want to get some of these dwarves." So remember, by the end of the month, there will be the giveaway. You will have the opportunity to enter that giveaway and hopefully win yourself the opposite of the Dwarf Queen. You will get the Dwarf King, who is equally as grumpy.
He's a nasty one.
and then we can work out why both of them are just so grumpy. So Atlantis Miniatures just saying we weren't sure if people would enjoy that element with the hair going over the eye. So it's great to hear you appreciate it.
Yeah, look at it. It's really adding to the brooding. There's another one over here.
And Ado suggesting that Atlantis Miniatures should release a dwarf therapist so that he can give counselling sessions to the king and queen. It's amazing how this lining, as you say, it's absolutely framing her. She's popping from the screen already.
Right. This is the part I really love and really enjoy. more. It's happening a lot to me that at this stage I want to keep it like this, and saying, "Oh, this really works," and then after like 80% of the model is being painted, the whole effect of this is going to get lost a bit because of that, because of all the color in there. So even though I've framed her, she's by far done, because I'm gonna make her look alive right now. Well, she was alive, right? Wasn't she? Yeah. But now I'm gonna get pure red. This is a Vallejo Model Air, which is very, very thin from itself. But I'm gonna make an even thinner glaze of it. So there's gonna be a lot of water in there. It's gonna be water with a hint of redness. You see this?
Yep.
It's only looking wet, which is exactly what I want, because I'm gonna easily build up some colors on their cheeks and their nose and their one ear, maybe. Well, let's do the cheeks first, from in to out. 1, 2. Nose, tip of the nose. Those dwarfs are really renowned for their big red noses, right? So here's something I've learned. I found it out myself, and after it, I found tons of references about it. So I felt like a poop. When you're trying to do a stern look or something someone who's frowning or something, the space between the brows here and the nose, that's going to create a lot of redness in there. So if you want to make it stern, make this part here a bit more red. And I've made a really angry chibi once. Was a chibi king with a really shouty face and all complete rage in his face. So I did a lot of reds over there. It really worked out well. The fun thing with these kinds of glazes is that I'm putting it on this hand, and I'm going over to that hand, and in the meantime this is already dry, so I can do my second pass, and I can definitely see how what effect I'm creating, and if I need to go even further or not. A bit more. I'm loving her. I'm absolutely loving her. Wow. Gonna touch up a bit on the hands. Now I've got those knuckles really red. I'm gonna do the same with the cheeks as well, but then there's still the light hitting on it. So just a little dot, 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 dot.
It's great how everyone's mesmerized just watching silently. Myself included.
Yeah. There are times like these that I also tend to forget everything right myself. Then I wake up and it's 5 hours later, you know.
Yeah. So Atlantis Miniatures saying, mesmerized watching, very therapeutic and looks awesome so far. The contrast and depth is being really pushed.
Thank you. Right, so much for the skin for now. Yeah, this is really working.
Yeah, so Atlantis is asking, how are you finding it to paint as a model?
How do I find it? Paint as a model?
Yeah, are you finding it easy to paint, difficult to paint?
The model itself?
Yes.
It's not difficult. It's not easy. It's just right. The level of detail and the way it's sculpted in there is amazing. Like these braids here. This is something I see a lot on different models. and then you can see braids, but the volumes are too shallow, so it's really difficult to get that in. And in this model, you can really see those thick strands really coming out. So that's something I really, really love. And everything, there's a lot of flow in there. There's this sternness. There's this dwarfs are like blocks of rock, and there's that air in here as well. So sculpt-wise and detail-wise, yeah, this is lovely and amazing. The only thing I'm not really fond of is this part over here. Because it's so difficult to get in there. I can get in there, but there's also a lot of darkness going to be in there. So there's not going to be happening a lot in there, and that's going to be wasted space almost. Well, here goes. This is a scary part.
Right, okay. So Atlantis is saying that casting weren't fond of it either with that recess. It's something we're keeping in mind in the future. Definitely valuable critique. Yeah. Wow, that is a vibrant colour.
Yes. It's still a bit too pinkish in my opinion, but it may be because of the thin coat I'm doing. I'm hoping it will remedy itself out with a couple of coats.
Maylenif is saying looks more gnomish hairstyle than dwarf.
Right. Yeah. The thing is, I'm flexible enough to be able to correct it if it's not working. For this strand of hair, because it's gone really dark, I made a really opaque, almost white version of the paint, just to make it a nice undercoat, which I can then use and glaze over with my previous color, or else it wouldn't stick. So this happens. You're thinking of a color, you're trying to make it create that color into your palette, and then you put it on the model and it's not working. So you should not worry about that ever. Let mistakes happen. Who knows what come out or is coming from it? But try to rectify it anyway. In this instance, I've put a lot of more red into that mix, and I'm going to do a second coat on top of it, hoping that the purple will still shine through a bit, the pinkishness. Create that just off red color.
So that really is a very vibrant, fiery red, isn't it?
Oh yeah. This is starting to look more like I wanted to. The trouble with doing red hair in a female face is that if you're doing it too red, or at least you've got to take into consideration that the redness I put in her face is going to be toned down right now. So when it was still white, I could really see red cheeks and red nose, and now it's already diminishing right now. Is that a problem? Nope. If I need to, I can still adjust it with extra reds.
May's commenting, saying that it's passed from a gnomish hairstyle to a Princess Disney hairstyle.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm thinking of oh gosh, what is it? It's the is it Brave?
Oh yeah,
the Scottish warrior woman. So that's perfect.
That's yeah, but that's really the orange kind of red.
Yes,
you know, the natural red. This is more like red from a package. You know, I'm actually a blonde.
Yeah, yes. I was just gonna say she's gone from pink to red. Is she a Schwarzkopf hair color dye model?
Exactly. But I hope to rectify that a lot with the shades later on.
So May was thinking more as in Ariel, the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, exactly.
Ado is complaining now that he's got that crab song in his head and can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Which has now been passed on to Atlantis Miniatures. Oh yeah, some earworms are going on now tonight. So I can imagine you're going to have lots of fun with putting the shadows in on those braids, and that'll really make the hair pop, won't it?
Yeah, at least I hope so. And gonna make it really, really dark. So I'm already blacklining it in certain areas just to make it pop out. But I'm really gonna use those blacks as well in the deeper shades. So it's gonna be really, really bright. Well, actually, this might probably be already the highlight color. And the only thing I need to do for highlighting is like this. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to paint over it later. Is just put on some white dots. Like this. And there's already a highlight. I'm going to show you one last tip. And then it's going to be quits, I guess, for tonight. In this color, I'm going to do the shades. And I'm going to put in some dark blues in there. So I've got this blue. No, I'm going to use something much more useful. So this is the sea blue. You might have seen me use it earlier. Dark sea blue. Gonna use it in there. This is really nice. It's got blue, a little bit of green in there, but also a lot of gray. So it's a really desaturated color. So it's gonna bring out the oomph out of that color, which I really want. Plus, the blue is the contrasting color of red, so it really should deepen those shades. So the first color I'm going to get, if I'm going to mix it in my palette, is obviously going to be a blue purple. I'm going to try to do this braid for tonight. So, theory of spheres. I'm looking at the entire braid as a sphere. So there's the elongated sphere over here. You can see that. So I'm gonna pick that one out. Then I've got to remember that there's light on top, but shades and below. There we go. I'm gonna shade it all. Then again, I've also got to remember that all those tiny pieces of braids are spheres in itself. So with careful lining, I'm gonna pick each and every one of them out. And here's another one. And then this one is arcing away that way, so there's gonna be light on top of here, and then arcing away there. Top of here, arcing away down there. Do you still see the spheres there, Monkey?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yes, it's all about the spheres now.
Oh yeah. You're gonna be sick about it in a while. You're gonna dream spheres. You're gonna eat spheres. You're gonna breathe spheres. So yeah, in color theory, there's this thing in the. It's even in real life. If you're gonna look at something from a certain color, look really, really deep into the deepest shade, and you're gonna be able to see the contrasting color in there. But then again, yeah, it's the technique thing of using a glaze, where I'm using the undertone of the red in this instance, why the blends are going to be easier. It's not per se the light and shadow story, but it's more like it's blending much easier. There we go. That's one braid. Let's do those highlights I said earlier. So this is you asked me before, would I do one part and then finish it near completion and then go to the next? So yes, in this instance I'm doing this part and then I'm going to go over to the other parts, but normally I do the entire hair in its entirety. But for the show I'm going to do it like this now. Now I'm going to look at the hair, and hair has a really difficult way of catching light. And it's something I often struggle with, but if I got the light on my model just right, I'm going to see where the light should be. It's the reflection of the source of the light on the hair, which is not necessarily on the very top of it. But when I'm looking at this model, I'm seeing that it should be somewhere around here. It's really working. How's that?
It's beautiful.
So yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight.
Like everybody else, just mesmerized, just
completely silent.
Yeah, no, I think if it's complete silence, you're on a win. Uber Ems is saying, no, nope, still blown away.
Right.
Atlantis Miniatures, loving it. Snowyak, thanks, Pascal.
Great. Well, thanks for the reaction, guys, because that's really pushing me forward. It was great being here tonight, and thanks again for everybody for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.